Tweet it out here so everybody joined in. 1 second, please. Da, 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 da. And there we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. Oops. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a blessed weekend and is enjoying their Sunday. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So, beautiful stuff, guys. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Happy to have Paul joining us again here tonight for the Elliott Wave show. The weekly Elliott Wave analysis, riding the waves with John and Paul. Paul, are you out there?
Hey, yeah, how's it going, John? How's it going, people?
Going good, going good. Glad you could join us from Colorado. Hope your autumn is starting out nicely.
It's looking nice out there. A little bit of a change of seasons, but yeah, it's looking good.
Beautiful, love it, love it. So good, guys. I'm really excited about tonight's show. So Paul's joining us. Is going to introduce a really cool concept called FIB time. So I like the double entendre in there, where it's like, hey, it's FIB time. We're going to talk about FIB. We are going to talk about FIB tonight, but we're going to talk about FIB time, Fibonacci time. So pretty cool stuff. We talked about Fibonacci time sequences before, time extensions, things like that. But it's kind of going to be, I think, a little bit of a different perspective. I think you guys will like it because it's really, really cool stuff, and we'll show you how it ties along with Elliott Wave. So really looking forward to this show tonight. Before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off with the market last week, and then we're going to take a look at the future, see what we're up to or down to here this evening. And then we're going to turn it over to Paul. We'll take a look at the topic, and then after the topic there, we'll if there's any time, we'll go through questions and chart requests. We try to wrap up around 8 o'clock. Sometimes we go a little bit longer, but again, we might not get to all the chart requests tonight, maybe one or two per person, usually one, and then we'll just kind of go from there. So, but anyway, guys, appreciate everybody for tuning in, so let's get started. All right, so let's take a look at the SPX here, guys. We finished up the month of September with a pretty nasty candle, right? So we had a bearish engulfing candle to finish the month of September, and we are always concerned about a red month because that's usually the start of a larger down move, right? You look at the Corona crash, right? We had a red month right here that started the bigger down move, right? It doesn't mean we're necessarily going to get a huge amount of down move, but we had a red month right here that ultimately got kind of a doji sandwich down, right? Also a bearish engulfing candle. So just a little bit of caution there, and bearish engulfing candles sometimes have like kind of high 60% percentage chance of follow through, right? So we'll see how it goes. Now we did get a little bit of follow through in this one, kind of pushing back here green to start the month, right? So and to start the quarter, right? So we just finished a fresh quarter two. We just started a fresh quarter on Friday, and so not surprised to see a little bit of money flowing in from pension funds, institutions, things like that. So so that can give the market a little bit of a boost, and then we want to see what kind of direction we take going into the rest of the month. We've got jobless claims coming up this week. We've got unemployment numbers coming up this week too. So we want to see how that ends up playing out as well. So so interesting start to the month right there. Weekly chart, right? We had a green hammer the prior week, but that ended up we ended up closing below the open of the prior week here, but it's still left at the lower shadow. See how it goes. RSI kind of working its way down. Daily chart under the 80 MA, under the 50-day moving average. We talked about this a lot last week, right? We talked about the double inside day. We gapped down, gave us a nice flush right here. Also gave us a doji sandwich down, which is usually a 3-candle pattern. Then we ended up working our way back up into that range, but we could not close above the 80 MA on Friday. So we'll see if the bulls have enough strength here to get above that here, and if we start to work our way back up and maybe try to make a shot at the gap. We are still in a macro downward trend, right? Since we cracked the upper trend line and confirmed below it, we are now in a downtrend, so we are below the downward trend line still. We're hanging on to the daily cloud. That's an interesting place for a bounce. If things really start to get nasty and start to break down this week, we could see the 200-day moving average here eventually. So pretty wild stuff there. Let's take, since we're doing Elliott Wave, let's take a look at the Elliott Wave count and see how things are looking. So this is kind of the, we've been on top of this this down move here since it started. Anybody who's been following along here on the videos, throughout the day, the lunchtime videos, morning videos, evening videos, or evening live streams, we've been talking about this, right? Very, very interesting move down right here. Starting out with the leading diagonal, wave 1, wave 2, right? And then it looks like we might be actually working on a larger wave 3 move. Now, the thing with Elliott Wave, sometimes you get you a little bit excited about the bearish radar, right? You'll find that a lot of Elliott Wavers tend to get kind of bearish after a while, just because the wave cuts, the upsides get support, starts to get exciting to the downside. We're like, yeah, this thing's really going to be a massive move down. But usually, oftentimes, there ends up to be a bullish count in there somewhere, and then when the market tends to kind of drift its way back up as it likes to do. However, there is a lot of stuff out there. Not that there isn't always negative news out there, but there is some stuff kind of happening. We've got, remember the China trade deal? Well, that's back on the radar again. It doesn't seem to be affecting futures too much, which we'll look at here in a little bit. So we got that going on. We got China sending apparently warplanes over to Taiwan, so they got that going on. So that could affect, again, the BABA names, things like that too. And of course, the China trade deal could affect, some pretty big names over here as well. We got massive chip shortages going on affecting the automotive industry, which could lead into the banking industry, which could lead into a lot of other things. And it might just be the tip of the iceberg, right? If it starts with cars, it might end up with, other consumables, things like that, kind of could start to get a little bit bigger than that too. So there's a lot of interesting stuff out there. Plus inflation, prices going up too. So we've got a lot of stuff too that's out there. Now there's always something to be negative about, but there is a lot of stuff out there as well. So anyway, wave count. Let's take a look at it, right? So this, so here, if this was just kind of pushing its way up here, rather than this massive leading diagonal, which doesn't look like it'd be some sort of expanding diagonal, which is crazy. It's possible, but crazy. But this impulsive wave up right here, we expect this held to 886 retrace from the down move of the wave 2 move, right? And we were actually pretty bearish on this for a potential 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then we started to get that gap down, and that really started to confirm that wave 3 down. So here it looks like a very clear 1 2 3 4 5 wave to the downside. We got a really sharp bounce on Friday, which would imply that this is a corrective move in a larger wave, since we do have some more downside movement. So this could be a zigzag up. Could see some choppy action here going in the next couple days, and then another possible symmetrical move up to finish the zigzag. We'll see how it holds the 618 retrace. We'll see how it holds the gap. As long as everything kind of stays in line and we hold our wave 1, we could see then after that a massive sharp wave down. So it could be a very interesting week this week. I'm sticking with the bear count for now because it's so far it's held up pretty well the entire time, and we've traded it really well. But at the same time too, right, this could be the end of a wave, and we might be just starting a fresh wave up, and we might see a wave 2 retrace, just gonna try to continue to work its way up, that type of thing. So it could be pretty interesting. So that's kind of the big one on the radar. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see what we're up to down to here this evening. So we are green here tonight, so we're getting some follow through from Friday's big rally bounce. So up 17 points right now. So let's say, I guess they're enjoying football tonight, so let's see how that goes. Again, having trouble getting over Friday's highs so far. So what we'll do is we'll put a couple geometric lines on here to track going into this evening. We got this. And we got this, which is already kind of being taken out right here. So we'll see how that holds tonight. We're kind of running into a little bit of resistance, kind of a drop zone from Friday, and we'll see where we end up tonight. So pretty cool stuff. But in the meantime, if they hang in there, and depending where the European market opens, well, how they want to play with it around 2 a.m. And then, of course, we got the 8:30 crowd that comes in and usually tries to push things around a little bit too before the market open, where things get real. So we'll see how that goes going into tomorrow. But again, we'll have a fresh game plan out in our bubble report tomorrow morning and in our Discord. And kind of looking forward to that. So speaking of Discord, we've got Paul here with us here, waiting in the background there for us. So Paul runs the Elliott Wave channel in our Discord for our group, and always offers a great resource to our members to bounce wave counts off of. It also comes up with great watch list ideas throughout the day that end up many of which turn into great trades, and a lot of those make the bubble report too, which is our morning newsletter that goes out. So be sure to check out the links in the description if you are interested. So anyway, really excited to have Paul here tonight. Paul is going to be talking about FIB time. So I'm going to turn it over to Paul. Paul, I'm turning it over to you.
Hey, thanks, John. How's it going, people? Yeah, I was doing some, I was looking into FIB time lately this last week or two, doing some manual counts by the days and the weeks, and it was pretty interesting. It's not how I usually calculate time, but we'll take a look at it tonight. If you're not familiar, here are the FIB numbers on the bottom. And your basic 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 8 is 13, and et cetera, and that makes up the FIB numbers, and you can overlay those on a chart. These numbers also relate to the classic spiral shape. It's pretty much, you can see if you stack them on top of each other, you get this spiral. You've probably seen these images before, but they show up in nature and the universe, and spider webs, flowers, fractals, DNA, whatever. So what we're going to do is take these numbers and overlay them on Apple. So here's what we get for Apple. Let's see, there we go. All right, so we have a beginning of an up move here. So we started from here, and the first fib number that we're going to hit is 34. And you can see when we hit 34, we got a trend change. We got kind of a push down when we hit 34. Next fib number is 55. When we hit 55 right here, we got a push up. Next fib number is 89. Kind of ended the uptrend. We kind of went sideways for a ways. Now we're going down, and the next fib number is 144. So if this plays out, we're expecting a trend change right here at 144, which would coincide with this Elliott Wave count where we have 1, 2, 3. We're just hopefully finishing the wave 4 down, almost at the 618, and we should get a push up in wave 5.
Wow. So how are you counting those? Are those days? Like 34 days, 55 days, or how's the calculation done there?
On this Apple chart, yeah, it's going by the day. These are days, and I can check it on TradeView with this tool, where I can say start at the beginning right here and just pull it across, and we get to 144 bars, which means 144 days.
Trading days, yeah.
Just trading days. So you can see Apple is it's pretty much right to the day. It's very accurate. It's not like that every time. Sometimes it's more of an approximation, but it's really tight with Apple.
That's awesome. I wonder if there's any coincidence that Apple almost closed at the price 144. That's kind of interesting too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
142, but it looks like it tagged 144 at least within the last 2 days. That's pretty neat.
Interesting. The days in this square are actually 55 days, and again, you can take your tool and start here and.
Well, that makes sense because 89 plus 55 would be 144.
Yeah, and you can see we got 55 bars, so it's very precise, and it's kind of fun to play around with sometimes, just to see these relationships play out.
That's really cool. So this is different. We've talked about Fibonacci time extensions before. We've talked about time series, things like that, time spirals. The works, but this is actually just counting bars and be like, hey, it's 34 bars right here, right? This is a Fibonacci number. And you start to look at these trend changes, and they tend to overlap at some of these daily marks right here, and it could turn into a good trade. This is a very interesting spot here for Apple.
Yeah, Apple's looking potentially good, like we could get a move. Let's see, I got an oil name up here, XOP. And this one is not by the day, this one is by the week. Let's see here.
So do you go to the weekly chart to do it, or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
With the weekly bars.
Oh, wow, look at that.
And let's see.
Well, this is some cool stuff.
Yeah, so for XOP, we have the fib numbers down here if you want to reference, if you're like, well, what comes after 13? And, it's 13, 21, 34, 55, 89. But we had a wave 1 that went right to 13 days, and we got our trend change. We came down to 34.
ABC 34, nice.
And then we get another trend change. And now we're moving up in wave 5. Let me grab this little tool here. And it's looking like price is going up to the 618 for wave 5. And when it hits 89, we might get a push down like this. We might come down to the channel and get a push up. And when we hit 144, we might get another push down, channel push up. So something like that.
Nice.
Might happen for XOP just based on these fib numbers.
How did things look at the 55 mark?
The 55, good question. We went from 34 to 89, so we kind of skipped the 55. I wanted to make it clear. But I did check this beforehand, and 55 is exactly right there.
What? That's awesome. So right at the top of wave 3.
Yeah, right at the top of the subwave 3, we hit fib number 55, and boom, trend change.
That's incredible.
Same thing with what's between 13 and 34.21.
Yeah.
I measured this before, and it is also right at the trend change.
Right at the wave B move here. This is on the weekly chart. How amazing is that?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing just to see, and it's easy to play with yourself with this tool on TradeView. You can see how many bars you got, and you can just check these fib numbers and see how it plays out on a chart.
Real quick, guys, anybody who is a Thinkorswim user and doesn't use TradingView, you can do the exact same thing in Thinkorswim too. All you got to do is just pull up your trend line bar, and you can do it with other tools as well. In fact, you can do it with a rectangle, right? So you just kind of go here to here. Actually, the rectangle is not doing it, but the trend line will do it. It will pop up. You guys, hopefully, you guys can see the pop up right here. It'll show you bars. It'll show you hours. Show you things like that. So so you can get your Fibonacci count on too in Thinkorswim as well. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple different tools that you can use to do this on other software also. And this is more the manual way, but it's kind of fun.
Nice.
But yeah, so for Fib time, I'm really watching Apple tomorrow, hoping we get a bounce to confirm the 144.
Nice. Well, we'll see if futures stay strong overnight. If they stay strong overnight, Apple gets a gap up, we might get a little bit of strength there. But if we get a gap down tomorrow, it could be a 144 drop. So it might be interesting there too. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Definitely keep an eye on the price action. That's awesome. So good stuff, Paul. Do you have any other on your radar going into this week?
Let's see. I guess we could take a look at Bitcoin real quick.
Take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a big bounce this week.
Yeah. There's a couple different counts for Bitcoin, and we got this big bullish candle here. Let me go to a
just so you guys know, in our group in the Discord on Friday morning, I mentioned that there was a chance for Bitcoin to go up. It was about 5 a.m. where I posted it, and 2,000 point move like about 10 minutes after I posted it. So pretty cool stuff there.
Yeah. What do we got for Bitcoin? Yeah, here would be the bull count. We have a 1, 2, and we're going up. This is an obvious impulse up. The word is if we break this top of wave 1, that's very bullish. But on the macro scale, I think the 618 is right around here. So we should know pretty soon if we're going to get this explosive bullish move up to new highs, or if we're going to continue down in the more bearish triangle or zigzag or whatever. We'll just have to see how it plays out.
Nice. Cool. Good stuff. I don't have much on the radar going into this week. We have reviewed SPX and the S&P futures, but I do have one that I think you guys could take a look at. Is Facebook. So again, a lot of these rallies, guys, if things are moving along with the way that our market count is on the SPX, we're expecting kind of like a little bit more of a relief rally, possibly to a 618 move up. And with Facebook, we had a pretty impulsive wave down. Right, nice breakdown below this geometric line right here. So pretty good move right here. I would go ahead and venture to say that this is probably some sort of zigzag, right? So we kind of have this 1-2-ish type move right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and estimate. So you got 1, 2, and then just say like here 3, right, 4, 5 for the wave A move of the zigzag, and it's very possible that if we do bounce this week, that we could be looking at some sort of A, kind of B, C move up. And then we'll see what kind of retrace this is, right? It might be like a 3A2 type move, and then what we'll do is we'll look for some confirmation of the downside and see if this wants to make a nice push down to get to the macro upward trend line. So I'm kind of tracking this going not necessarily into earnings, but just over the next couple weeks here to see maybe we get a spike here before earnings, and then things kind of start to pull back off of it for a couple days, and then we maybe the market kind of works its way down after that. It's kind of a bigger picture type view over the next month or so on Facebook, but I think something to look at right here. But if things are getting strong right now, keep an eye on Facebook here for a possible ABC up. Wave A's are pretty tough to trade, but if we can catch a wave C move of that, then we might get a bullish move off Facebook. It's got a couple little gaps to deal with above as well. So that's kind of the one that's on my radar here going into this week. So other than that, guys, I think that's all we got here for this evening in terms of what we have for you. So now it's your turn. Let us know what's on your radar. If you have any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can. Try to wrap up we try to wrap up around 8 o'clock. We'll see how we go from there, and see what you guys have on the radar. So Shirley's got a few that she sent via email. So Shirley, I hope you're doing great out there. So Paul, if you've got a chance to look at some chart requests out here, we've got UAL, one of the airlines, on the radar.
Take a look at that. UAL is a really tricky count. There's like 3 different ways to count this, but I believe that this is some kind of a wave 4 here. We're coming down. We're bouncing off the 618. So I'm bullish on this. I think we're going up in an impulse for UAL and all the airlines. This count here is really tricky, but in general, 618 bounce. I'm thinking impulse up for UAL.
Delta had a pretty big move on Friday as well, and they also just I got some headlines in our news feed in our Discord that I think the CEO just said, hey, things are, we think travel is looking up and things are looking up, so we'll see if that gives it a little bit of a boost. So good stuff, great find there, Shirley. And let's go ahead and grab this other one. Let's take a look at Upstart. I know a lot of folks like this name.
Yeah, Upstart. Let's see here. Let me see what I got going on Upstart. Okay, Upstart. It looks like we had
A good call on that wave 4 pullback. I know you were calling that as you were calling a top on that.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we were going
Yeah,
to try and short that last week, and sure
yeah.
enough, this was the top. It was a wave 3, and we came down and bounced right up to 236, which is pretty bullish. Usually, wave 4s go a little lower. Sometimes when you bounce at the 236, that indicates we're going to get a triangle. If you get a triangle, it's almost always above the 382 and at the 236. So
No, that's cool.
we're in a wave 4, and wave 4s are really hard to call. It could be a triangle, could be a flat. Probably not a zigzag. If it is, we could bounce from here, but just have to watch this one.
Cool, great find on those. Awesome. Angelo, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. You got PLTR on the radar. And NNDM. I know that's one of Paul's favorite ones to look at.
NMD. Okay, well, here's PLTR. I have a bull count for this. I have this coming down in an ABC. This would be a zigzag. We hit the 618 and the cloud, and we're starting to bounce. There is some real bearish counts out there I've been looking at that are also valid, but for now, I'm bullish, and I have this going up into wave 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of relief bounce off of that one, especially as a hammer off the daily chart in the cloud. That could be interesting. The 618 could be interesting. Good find on that. And how about NNDM?
NMDM.
I know you profiled this last week.
Let's see. NMDM. Okay. So I have us doing a wave 1 up and then an ABC down. We haven't broken this low, so I do have a bullish count on here. I've been watching this one forever. But yeah, I'm bullish. I'm thinking we're going to get a wave 3 up as long as this low holds.
Cool, great find on that one. Tracy, what's going on? Good to see you. Long time no see. Hope you're doing great. So let's take a look here. You've got SM and Crocs.
SM. Let's see. This will go to wave basis on this one. SM. Let's see what we get here. All right, so looking at this looks pretty impulsive. I would say, let me just put a wave count on here. I'm going to do like a, oops, I'm going to do a, why is that not working? Okay, there's a wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4, 5, and it looks like we had a larger wave 1 up here. This looks like a zigzag. It looks like we're going up in a wave 3 impulse right here.
Yeah,
this looks impulsive. Like a really nice count, actually.
Very nice.
Something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
So
strong move on this. Great. Awesome find on that one. How about Crocs? I know a lot of folks have been looking at this one recently too. It's had a pretty big move recently for Crocs. This is a $20 name, and it's like it's all the way up to $160, you know.
Yeah, it looks to me like it's probably trying to form some kind of top here. Actually, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much what we're getting here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This could be the top of a wave 3. And let me just lock these in here. Wave lines. Project count forward. I did lock the fibs. So I would say for Crocs, we started a downtrend. This might not be the worst short to look at. We came up, finished a wave 3, and we got a couple red candles. We're under the 8 EMA. So I would say we're probably going to do a wave 4 correction for Crocs.
Cool. Nice. Let's keep an eye on that one. Otas, what's going on? You got Boeing on the radar.
Boeing, let's see. Back to trade view.
Boeing's still staying within that channel, huh? Amazing.
Yeah, Boeing's still in the channel. I had this as a wave 4. And look, we stopped right at the channel top. But I do have this as an impulse up. This looks like some kind of wave 4. So I'd look for a channel break. But in general, with the airlines and with Boeing, I think we're going to get a wave 5 up for Boeing.
Okay, yeah, great find on Boeing. Awesome, thanks, Otas. And cool on, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Muku, what's happening? Good day. FSLY on the radar.
FSLY. FSLY. Okay. So this again, I have a bullish count on this. We had a wave one up, wave two down. We popped right at the 618. This looks like we're getting ready to start a wave three up. We just need some bullish price action to get wave three started.
Awesome, good stuff. And then Steve's had Facebook on the radar, which we already looked at. Michael Phillips, what's going on? You got Ethereum on the radar.
Okay, I do have a count on that. Let's see here. What is crypto? Yeah, Ethereum looks really bullish. We came down and we tested the 618 like 4 or 5 times here, and the 618, this is the macro 618, and it held. I thought this was an ABC, but with Bitcoin, we had an ABC zigzag to another 618. So you notice we have higher highs, 618, another 618,
Yeah,
and we're going up in an impulse. I'd say, Ethereum are going up in wave five.
it's pretty bullish. I agree. Nice find on that one. Good job, Michael Phillips. And Steve's got QS on the radar.
QS, everyone's favorite QS. Let's see here. You go to 4 hour. So I've been watching this one. I want to get in on the next QS pump. And this does look pretty bullish right here. We have a zigzag right to the 618. We get a reversal candle. I have this as a wave five going up, but it is a 618 bounce. So I'm pretty bullish on QS off of the 618.
Very nice. And DJH got ENPH on the radar.
ENPH. I better go to wave basis. Let's see. ENPH. Oh, this is an interesting one. Let's see here. It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty much have, this is one of those ones that could go either way. I'm coming up with the bear count really quick, but it's not guaranteed we're going to go down, but it is showing a bearish count here.
It's kind of in a range. Maybe it's just working on a big triangle.
Yeah, it could be doing a triangle, or it could be doing a sideways move. This could be an A, B, C, D, E triangle, like you said, but don't really have a compelling bull count for ENPH.
Got it. Nice. And AFRM?
AFRM. Oh, yeah, AFRM.
Nice.
Let's see here. So I have us finishing an impulsive wave up here, a wave three. And I think we're in an ABC. I think we are going to get the alt wave 4 lower here. This is just one to watch. We completed an impulse up, and we had this move down to the 236. So this is another wave 4. We could get a triangle right here. We could get a zigzag. This is when we got to watch the price action to see when we get this wave 5 up.
Nice. Great stuff. And Kalani Hawaii, what's going on? Good to see you. We got NVIDIA and AMD on the radar, and Jay Riz got AMD. So let's look at NVIDIA and AMD.
Yeah, no problem. Bullish on all the semis. They all have real bullish counts. So AMD, we had this big 3-4. This wave 4 took a long time, a lot of time here for wave 4, and then we had an impulsive move up, and then we had a zigzag down. You can see it's a real deep, fast move for the zigzag wave 2. And I would say I'm seeing an impulse starting with the 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So yeah, bullish on AMD and NVDA, pretty much the same thing. Let's see here.
A little bit of a deeper retrace on that one.
Yeah, AMD, I had this in a 1, 2, 1, 2, but this came down. Yeah, this is the 618. This came down right to the 618, and I think there's a good chance we're going to get a move up in NVDA also.
Nice. Good finds on those guys. Awesome. Appreciate Jay Reeves. Appreciate Kalani. Awesome stuff. Jack, what's going on? Good to see you. Looking at gold, the GC or the GOLD. Let's take. How are those looking?
Let's see. Let me see which gold. I know. Maybe I have a count on this one. We'll see. No, I don't. Let's see.
Do you have GLD? Do you look at GLD at all?
Yeah, let's see.
I do GDX a lot.
I think the gold is kind of, I have us in the triangle here. Let's see.
Yeah, it's been pretty much all over the place. It's been really, really tricky stuff. There's a couple good bounces off of it, but lots of gaps. Tricky.
Yeah, it's been kind of a sideways move, and we're waiting on a push up. But gold has been pretty much sideways and been honestly, it's been tough to call. I've been looking at GDX and SLV, and I think they're all working their way to a bottom, and we should be getting the bounce pretty soon. But right now, it's just kind of sideways and hard to read.
Awesome. Good find on that one. And then also Tesla.
Tesla, I'm bullish on Tesla. Let's see here. I'm doing a 2 hour. Okay, yeah, for Tesla, I have us going up in an impulse, a lot of 1-2s, and I have this move as an impulse up. We're bouncing off to 618. We're going up in a wave three, a wave five of three. So definitely bullish on Tesla.
Yeah, it's positive news over the weekend. I think like record deliveries, and if the future stays strong and the Nasdaq is strong and Tesla's gapping up, it might have a good day on Monday. So we definitely want to keep an eye on that one. Jack, be sure to rewind and check out the beginning of the show. Paul, the third one that he checked out was Bitcoin. Gave a kind of a short-term perspective, and I guess generally a long-term perspective on it as well. I think, Paul, your long-term perspective on Bitcoin, what is that? Like,
Bitcoin, I was favoring the bear count, and I still think we have a chance to go down in the zigzag. We're right at the 618, but the bull count is also looking strong. So everyone's watching the 618 to see if we can break above. So valid bull and bear counts for Bitcoin.
nice. And Omega Aviation's got Amazon on the radar.
Amazon. I believe I have a bullish count here. Let's see, let me go to 4 hour. Okay, yeah. So Amazon, we have this impulsive wave one up, and then we have a ABC down, and it looks like we stopped right here at the 786. We're technically in the golden zone, but I'm bullish on Amazon. I think we're going to get a wave three up for Amazon.
Nice. Definitely want to keep an eye on there too. And Marcial, what's going on? Good to see you. Apple, definitely check that one out a little bit earlier. That was the first stock that we reviewed tonight. So if you didn't check the beginning, definitely go back to that. Paul put a really, really cool spin on the Apple count. And he's got a generally bullish wave count on it. So definitely check out the beginning of the show. So, but anyway, guys, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Paul, really appreciate you being here. Again, guys, Paul runs the Elliott Wave group in our Discord, in our group. So if you like bouncing Elliott Wave counts off of somebody throughout the day, and also like our watch list ideas, things like that, definitely check out the links in the description to join up with us. We'd really love to have you there. So great stuff, guys. Once again, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Paul, thanks for being here.
Hey, you're welcome. Good times. Good show.
Awesome, and I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. We'll see everybody here bright and early tomorrow morning for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And until then, guys, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and